Gillette Stadium. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, the radar says the heavy stuff still a few hours away, but snow is falling as we near kickoff at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Darius Stewart now on the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the run, it's Ware. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Dante Hightower. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 18. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On the ground, Michel. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing rig. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Vinny Curry in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. Chance there from long distance to get our first points on the board. How close was it to getting there? Pretty darn close.
Here we go now.
On first down, it's Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's second down. For New England, this is how they will line things up defensively. And they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Big yardage that time for the Jets, and even 40 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dante Hightower in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
Here we go now.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
You need your wide receivers as blockers.
Still second down.
Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy, but let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jets have recovered.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling, right? The right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming at you. You got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Dumps that off to Ware. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon, as we'll see one following the score on the final. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On 2nd down, Michel. Room to run past midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Adam Thielen, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots are an extra point away from going out in front. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. Hey, he's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here we go now. Green, 19.
On the ground, this is Ware. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction. He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Vinny Curry in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big.
Detroit!
Looking to throw. On the slant, he gets it to Gronkowski. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip, tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it?
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Jason Myers now for the extra point. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily, when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vinny Curry in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll get that to Michel, complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now the big play pushes them all the way out to the 40 now for first down.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
Darnold on first down. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to find Ardarius Stewart. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
All right, here we go. Boom, line it. Boom.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Boom, line it.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that will be incomplete as well.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Edelman set to return. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Patriots take over. A first update now from Cincinnati. And the Ravens have opened things up there. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. They go play action here on 1st down. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, line it.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Des Bryant, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They begin with Michel on the ground. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. On the handoff, it's Michel. We have hit halftime. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. They'll find Thielen working the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted, he has their only touchdown, so he's had the most success in the game thus far.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. And an alley to run. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Wide open receiver complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots are an extra point away from going out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah,
and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse. And I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They run again with Ware. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Darnold, complete to Stewart, right side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And now out come the Patriots. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And it's Michel once again. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
A give. This is Michel. Big hold of the 30. And all the way up to the 33-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Michel. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Edelman's first catch, and it's good for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Michel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Back now in Foxborough. And we've got a dandy here, a 1-point game as we begin the 4th. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Adam Thielen, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a New England touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion it.
And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Kyle Van Noy. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On second down, Darnold. They'll leave this for Ware. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Jets on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 19. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Bryant with a catch right side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Here we go. Green, 39.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And he spins past him and into space. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Patriots add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Here we go now. 3-19.
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
On the ground, this is Michel. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Adam Thielen, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still, a lot of guys to account for.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run with Michel. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On the ground is Michel. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run it. This is Michel. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Here we go with Michel. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course.